Friends, my friends, the term is called much ado about nothing. And that is exactly what's going on right now. The recent uproar from the pathetic and desperate Democratic Party over the accidental and unimportant and inconsequential inclusion of a journalist in the Signal Group chat discussing U.S. military operations in Yemen is nothing more, my friends, than a desperate, pathetic, and manufactured attempt to create controversy where none exists because they've got nothing. They've got nothing against the Trump administration. This incident involving high-ranking officials such as J.D. Vance and Pete Hegseth has been blown out of proportion entirely by leftist, radical left, desperate, pathetic Democratic politicians clearly trying to do something, clearly trying to establish some beachhead, clearly trying to work with their media allies. It's a clear indication of the Democrats' absolute relentless obsession with undermining the Trump administration at every turn. It's nothing more and nothing less. This is the most serious thing I can tell you. If you listen to this, you think this is Watergate and Teapot Dome and every scandal rolled into one, and they don't seem to care about the facts. So let's be clear. Let's be really, really clear, my friend. The use of encrypted messaging apps like Signal among government officials is a common, accepted, allowed practice aimed at ensuring secure and swift communication. Do I make myself clear? The inadvertent addition of the Atlantic's editor-in-chief, that rat bastard Jeffrey Goldberg, to the inadvertent inclusion of him to this group chat was an unfortunate but minor, de minimis, inconsequential mishap. Goldberg himself acknowledged his surprise at being included and chose to observe rather than participate. Okay, so what's the big deal? The Democrats, in their pathetic attempt, don't you understand, is to paint this as some kind of catastrophic breach of national security because they've got nothing on Trump. Nothing. If whenever they're not busy blowing up Tesla factories or auto dealership, this is all they've got. This is it. And it's misleading, and it's also hypocritical, given their own incredible history of downplaying genuine, actual, real, substantial security lapses within their ranks during the Biden administration when the president was selling his office to every country in the world, the big guy. This is bullshit. There's a word for that. You can quote me on that. The Trump administration has consistently, absolutely, and without fail, demonstrated a commitment, an absolute established commitment to decisive action in the face of global threats. That's what they were brought in to do, right? And the military operations in Yemen, targeting what they call as Iran-backed Houthi rebels, and I'm not going to get into this to the sagacity of the operation. I'm merely talking about this. That's a different subject. But this particular action is a testament to this resolve that his followers and many people want him to abide by. Again, I'm not talking about that right now. I've got problems with the operation, not with the particular security protocol. Now, these strikes were, as people are suggesting, meticulously planned and executed to protect American interests and maintain stability in the region. That's what Hegseth and Vance and President Trump are saying. And the Democrats feigned and pretended to be outraged over the Signal chat incident when there was nothing there. It conveniently ignores the success and strategic importance of these operations as indicated by Hegseth, Vance, and President Trump. Instead, these Democratic folks chose to focus on a trivial error, revealing their true priority: scoring political points, trying to undermine this administration, trying to chide and abuse and to object to anything President Trump does. Period. That's it. This is all they've got. I mean, this is all they've got. When you consider what we have been through 4 years of that horror, this is it. And their reaction shows and exposes their desperation with no substantial policy achievements to their name in any regard. And a base that's dwindling and evanescent. They latch on to any opportunity to criticize President Trump and his administration, anything, no matter how baseless, no matter how trivial, no matter how de minimis, no matter how unnecessary, no matter how little. And this manufactured and exaggerated and pathetic choreographed scandal, if you will, is this yet again another one of these transparent attempts on their part to distract from their own particular failures and to impede and to interrupt and obfuscate President Trump's administration's progress and what he is doing. Now, look, it's a classic case. You know this, and I know it's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black. They ignore or excuse significant missteps within their own party, their own pathetic, degenerate party, while magnifying and blowing out of proportion every little minutia, every little insignificant erratum on the part of the Trump administration. Now, the American people are not fooled by this. In fact, the American people couldn't care less. The American people don't know Yemen and Houthi from Houthi to Blowfish. They don't know anything about this. If you think this is a political coup, what they are asking is, why are you sitting back and tacitly endorsing the terrorists, the domestic terrorism of blowing up Tesla dealerships? The left blowing up the cars that the left called for. That's what they're talking about. See, Americans recognize the Democrats' pathetic screaming and yelling and this outcry charade for what it is. It's a motivated joke, devoid and absent and without any particular rational concerns for any kind of national security, right? Now, the public understands that in this very complex arena of international relationships and IR and international relations and geopolitical chess and all that stuff, these minor communications errors are nothing. They're insignificant. What matters to the American people is the effectiveness and the efficacy and the plan and the worldview of this administration and its interest. And on this front, the Trump administration has delivered time and time again, despite, and by the way, irrespective of whether you agree with it, that's okay. Even within the Republican Party, there's always going to be differences of opinion. But as far as the execution of it, despite the relentless obstruction and baseless criticism from the left, the American people see right through this. Now listen to me very carefully. The Democrats are pathetic. Their exaggerated response to the Signal Chat incident is just another example, a glaring example, another indicium of their willingness to prioritize political gain regarding anything, no matter how insignificant it is, over truth and the national interest. Nobody cares about this. Their attempt to blow this out of proportion, to blow this into some full-blown scandal, is laughable, unfounded, and without any indicium or indication of any serious indication. It's just desperation. The American people know better. American people know better than this. And they deserve better than these cynical political games. This is what they're worried about? This is what they're worried about? All of a sudden they're worried about national security? This? Now? They deserve a government focused on real issues and objectives. That's what President Trump is doing. And this manufactured horseshit about signal apps, it's ridiculous. Look, let me explain something to you. You know this and I know this, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. These people have nothing. They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. These are people who just have been for the longest time saying, what do we do? They're looking at 2028. They can't even get Gavin Newsom to stick with this story. Hell, he's talking to Bannon anyway. I got to calm down. I got to calm down because I know you know better than this. I know you're aware of what's going on. I know you're hip. I know you get it. I know you get it because you are smart. And if ever you had any doubt in your mind how pathetic these Democrats are, this will clear it up once and for all. Thank you, my friend. Pay very clear and close attention to what I'm saying to you right now. And I ask you always to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Always subscribe. Always subscribe. Like this video. And comment as you see fit.